Humanity is doomed without the cure that they could get from Ellie. That's the argument that some people make when they're talking about Joel's decision at the end of The Last of Us. In my opinion, humanity's not doomed. Are ants doomed just because cordyceps exists in real life? No. They just exist alongside it in a natural balance, the same way that humans are learning to live alongside cordyceps in The Last of Us. So, doomed is subjective, in my opinion. Modern society being doomed and humanity being doomed are two very different things. Think about it. We've only lived the way we do today for a blink in the eye of history. We've existed and survived much closer to the way that people do in The Last of Us for far longer than we've had civilization as we know it today. One could also argue that humanity doesn't even deserve a cure by that point. What would they do with it? Recover the numbers back to the dominant species on Earth? Destroy nature and wildlife and the climate all over again? In the world of The Last of Us, we still get to exist. We just need to build different and better communities, like the town where Tommy lives, and look after each other in different ways. Essentially, anything but capitalism. If something like cordyceps happened, obviously it would be horrible and horrific, but 20 years after it's happened, when it's inevitable and irreversible, the infection isn't even the problem anymore. Human nature becomes the problem at that point. Humans are always the bigger threat, and many characters in The Last of Us have made this point. If the Fireflies actually did have a cure, do you think they'd just give it to everyone? I don't. Because power corrupts. It's important to remember that the Fireflies are willing to murder an innocent child to do what they think is right for the greater good, which has long been the mindset of those who carried out some of the worst crimes in human history. So while the Fireflies by some would be regarded as saviours, by others they'd be regarded as tyrants. If they're willing to kill people to get their own way, that essentially makes them no better than Fedra, and also no better than Joel. History is just written by the victor, and if the Fireflies were the victor, that also means they've got victims. Humanity, by most standards, is doing fine without the cure, subjectively. Very slowly, as evidenced by Tommy's town, they are recovering. It's not society as we know it today, but something different doesn't mean doomed.